Hey there, we're Nigel and Sue, and we've spent the last 2 years travelling Australia, living in our self-converted camper van. This is the first video in our Exploring Australia's Southwest series, where we show you the highlights and hidden gems of the southwest corner of Australia. Wherever possible, we stay in free camps, and sometimes we wild camp. We hope to show you a glimpse into what it's really like to live full-time in a van. In this episode, we explore Black Diamond Lake, we visit the Wellington Dam Wall mural and enjoy a super quirky stop-off in Gnomesville, before heading to Busselton to walk the jetty. Well, hey friends, here we are at another free camp called Tuart Forest. This free camp is like packed. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then us. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 over the back, 13, 14. Probably enough room for about 6 or 8. We're all squashed in. It's all good. We're about to make some dinner. So tonight we are making stir fry with tofu. And our stove's still playing up. It's booked in to get fixed on the 4th of bloody February. Today's the 6th of January. Dinner's looking good. Nigel's looking good, pouring the wine.
Let's go.
Breakfast is served.
Yeah.
Good morning, friends. We had a beautiful night's sleep here, apart from the kookaburras at 4:22 a.m. The place really filled up last night. There are about 20 other vans here. We're on our way. We came into Bunbury this morning to do some laundry and some grocery shopping. So Nigel's now making us a cup of coffee, and we just parked up by the waterfront here.
Cool if you saw some dolphins in here, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No dolphins today. But a good place for coffee.
Kids enjoying the beach here. Little cafe by the shore. Okay, so our chores are done, our coffee's drunk. Now it's time to go exploring. The first spot on our little trip around today is Black Diamond Lake. It's supposed to be a unique colour. Doesn't look very special to me. And there's so many people here. I don't think we like it very much already.
As much as I'm eager to go for a swim and stick in a dive, the idea of perhaps catching meningitis puts me off right there. It's just a sign you could catch meningitis. Keep your head above water, but it doesn't seem to be bothering a lot of these people, does it?
No Nigel dives today, friends. Somewhat disappointed, we left Black Diamond Lake and headed for our next destination. We are at Wellington Dam now, and we're going down to have a look at a mega mural which has been painted on the dam wall. So the artist's name is Guido van Helten. He's from Brisbane, and it took him 12 months to paint this mural. It's so photorealistic, and that's something that this artist is actually really well known for, creating these murals that look like photos. And he was inspired by photographs of the dam and the region when it was being built, old photographs. Now unfortunately the bridge down below is currently closed for renovation, so normally we would drive across that. Today we need to take a 5-kilometre detour, but I think the views from the bridge would be really incredible. Hopefully they're going to make it wide enough that you can actually stop there and take a photo of the mural from the new bridge. And here at the lookout there is a secondary mural by Indigenous artist Jade Dolman. We're going to go around. So the traveller's tip here at the Wellington Dam is to not park in the first car park. If you've got a long vehicle or a caravan, if you continue on to where it says overflow parking, there's actually a couple of longer spots there. This is the current state of the van after doing our laundry earlier today. We always have the stuff that can't go in a dryer hanging up. I'm going to have to move this now so we can make some lunch. The detour was actually really beautiful as we drove through the forest and past a couple of camping spots. Being a weekend, they were very busy. So we've come now to one of the quirkiest places that we may have ever seen.
Gnomesville.
Nigel's been here before. The origins of Gnomesville are rather mysterious, with a few stories being told. At the site, the story is told that a schoolgirl put a gnome in a tree hollow, and people started adding gnomes so it wouldn't be lonely. Either way, people have come from all over the world to add to the collection, and there are now estimated over 5,000 gnomes here. How many there are here? So we've walked a couple of 100 metres and there's still more gnomes. So as we've been walking through here, we've been looking for an Elvis gnome because Mark and Christine, who are the tenants living in Nigel's house back in Brisbane, have this gnome, an Elvis gnome. Initially when we set off on our van journey, we thought we might kidnap it and take it on a trip around Australia with us, but it's kind of a bit big and cumbersome and heavy. So in the end we decided to leave Elvis there, but we've just found a mini Elvis. And we've just found Elvis's twin. This is for you, Mark and Christine. Since this is now such a popular place, the council have built a car park and a toilet block. Plenty of room, quite easily accessible, and just a really interesting, quirky place to visit. Out in the middle of nowhere, but definitely worth a stop. We've just got into camp. We're actually going to stay tonight at the same place where we stayed last night. It's only a 24-hour stop. If you're enjoying our videos, please give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel. We also want to thank our generous Patreons who help keep us on the road and producing these adventure travel films. You can join our Patreon community at the link in the description below. When we were in New Zealand, Nigel's mum kept asking me, what do you guys cook and what do you eat in the van? It was like she was concerned that, you know, we were living on 2-minute noodles or whatever. We eat really good food, but I think that's really important to know. You know, when you live in your van, it doesn't mean that you have to eat camping food. So tonight we're making pasta Susanna, which is a pasta dish that I invented and named in my own honour. So we are going to start off with making some garlic chips. I'm going to slice some garlic really finely and I'm going to fry that in olive oil. I'm going to save that oil because that's going to be the base for the pasta. The chips I'm going to take out and they're going to be the garnish at the end. Step 1 is to fry up the garlic chips in this olive oil. Okay, I got a little bit distracted because a couple of our friends just rocked up, Jess and Sam. Jess cooked us the most amazing breakfast when we were in Broome. Those of you who watch Max and Oki's channel will be very familiar with Jess and Sam, so they've just pulled up. So this is the sauce now. I've fried onions, cherry tomatoes, eggplant, and I fried them all up, and it's in a base of passata. I'm just going to let this all simmer until that eggplant is really soft and cooked really well and all those flavours mix in together. Now those garlic chips that I made are over here. So they're going to be part of the garnish along with some toasted pine nuts. So I've got the pine nuts in there. I'm just toasting them up a little bit. This is still simmering away. Finally, I cooked up some penne pasta and it was ready to serve.
Okay, so Susie's just put the basil on, fresh basil followed by pine nuts,
A few more pine nuts.
And of course the coup de grace, the garlic chips is
Okay.
super yummy. Look at that presentation.
Good morning.
Morning.
We're up quite early this morning because we want to go to Busselton and walk along the jetty, and we're cheapskates and we don't want to pay the $4. If you get there before the ticket office opens, you can just walk straight onto the jetty. So we're just having a couple of quick pieces of toast. If Nigel doesn't die.
Choking on toast.
Can you die quietly, please? I'm trying to talk to the vlog. It's only about half an hour away. I was just looking outside. We're at the same free camp that we stayed at the night before. And there's actually people parked out on the road today. It's that busy. Oh, mate.
Oh, there's another one down there.
Rooftop tent.
Bloody hell. Crazy.
We are in Busselton again. We were here a couple of weeks ago before we went over to New Zealand, but we wanted to come and take a walk out on the jetty. At 1.84 kilometres long, the Busselton Jetty is the longest timber-piled jetty in the Southern Hemisphere. You can walk out onto the jetty. During the day it costs $4 a person, but if you arrive before the ticket office opens, it's free. Proceeds do go towards the upkeep of the jetty. There's also a small train that runs the length of the jetty, which costs $16 return. And there's all these like little swimming enclosures here too. As you know, there's lots of sharks in WA. I'm actually a bit scared to swim here, so there's quite a few people doing laps inside the enclosure. There's also some people outside the enclosure. So the jetty is around 1.8 or 2 kilometres long. So, you know, if you swim down and back, it's a pretty decent swim. And they actually hold an Ironman triathlon here in December, early December each year, I think. And the swim leg goes out and around the jetty. I was intrigued how long it took to swim around the jetty, so I took the opportunity to ask someone who was having a rest mid-swim. How long does it take you to swim all the way around?
Oh, the fast ones do it in just over an hour.
Wow.
I'm about an hour and a half.
And do you go all the way around the end?
Not today, I'm helping someone out.
Okay, cool.
But it's beautiful today.
Yeah, it seems really shallow.
Yeah, it does get really shallow, I could dive down to the bottom.
Nigel, I can't believe there's so many people swimming.
No, it's nuts, no. Good on 'em.
Yeah. And like all ages and shapes and sizes.
Yeah,
and
yeah. It's like grandma out there already. She's very impressive.
The Birdman taking photos of pigeons. Nigel got himself a new camera and has been busy learning how to use it. His next purchase will be a zoom lens to photograph birds, I guess. How lovely. There's a whole bunch of memorials here to, I guess, local people, people that have fished, people that love Busselton. Really beautiful to read some of those plaques. So the northern part of the jetty is currently closed because they're constructing a new visitor centre here. And because we're so early, we can't even get through to the underwater observatory at the moment. It's been a beautiful walk out here. We had hoped that the sun would come out by the time we got back from the jetty and that we could put the drone up, but the opposite is happening. The wind's picked up, the clouds are rolling in, and I think we might even get some rain. We saw this water bird that had grabbed a fish that was on a fisherman's hook. It wasn't letting go and we were worried it would get the hook stuck in its neck.
There's a line, let's see, there's a line. There's a line going on.
Oh, there is too. So someone's left a length of fishing line with a hook attached, tied to one of these poles. The poor bird was attached to the hook, which had a fish on it. Somehow he's managed to maybe get the fish off, but at least not get hooked. Bird's okay. We have taken the hook and the line, and we're going to throw the line in the bin, because we all know what a nightmare discarded fishing line can be in the ocean for our wildlife. So he's just taken the prawn bait of these guys that are fishing here, and we literally just watched him take the bait off the hook. Cheeky monkey. Closer to the end of the jetty, we watched a stingray cruising through the shallows. So we just came back to the van and had a smoothie, and in that 20 minutes or so that we've been away, the sun's come out. So we're just going to head back down to the jetty and take some shots of the blue boathouses in this nice sun. This is commitment, friends. Nigel is going in. I'm here wearing a fleece.
Yeah, so it's not real deep.
It's not real deep. We really hope that you've enjoyed this video. We are really loving this region of Australia. Join us next time as we visit a lighthouse and some of the absolutely beautiful beaches along this stretch of coastline before visiting a winery to catch up with some friends.
Guys.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.